Can I give Tag Team of the Year to no one?
You're probably going to just give it to LAX.
I mean, we'll see how they go. Maybe they have to impress me. I'm not so easily won over.
Or you could give it to our next feud. I think Tag Team of the Year should go to Team 3D or the James Gang, right? You love that.
I mean, I like this match. I haven't loved other elements of the feud as much as you have.
I think you have signed off and underlined on everything Kip James in particular has ever said as part of this feud.
I think if I recall correctly.
Yeah? Nothing?
I think you're just a big fan of Father Asshole.
What? Oh, Father. Oh, right.
I realized if you didn't understand what I was doing, it's an insane thing to say.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck is Father Asshole?
Just get through this shitty racist shit so we can wrap this shit up.
May 18th, Impact. Team 3D is with JB. It says nothing is settled at Sacrifice. They're mad that the James Gang hit Devon in the shoulder with a pipe to win. They then do an extended bit where Bully hypes up Devon every time he does a bit of a promo. He'd tap Devon on the shoulder, and Devon's like, "What the hell, man? My shoulder's hurt." He's like the Barry lad and Will Ospreay. They take a shot, one of many this month, at WWE reviving ECW and say, "Leave it dead and buried where it belongs because the heart and soul are in TNA." He was like, at the pay-per-view at Sacrifice when we wrestled, I thought it was a wrestling match, so I threw a drop kick. And then Devon was like, "That was a drop kick?" And I was like, "Leave my drop kick alone."
It was a fine drop kick.
He was gassed after it, but he did throw a perfectly fine drop kick.
This is good Team 3D banter.
I was going to ask you, how do you feel about, because they're doing the arguing brothers routine, which is kind of their act at the moment.
Yeah.
They're like brothers who get along, but then they do a little bickering, but they're doing a bit of comedy. You into that bit of them?
Yeah, I like it.
It is fun. It is light comedy.
I mean, to me, it's always better than them doing the greatest tag team ever, blah blah blah. Because I just don't believe that at all.
Whereas a bit of silliness, bit of mocking themselves, you're more into that.
Yeah.
So they challenge the James Gang to any kind of hardcore match at Sacrifice, and then Bully taps Devon on the shoulder once again, and Devon's like, "What the hell, man?"
It's Mom.
And I assume you're going to say good stuff about this next segment. So May 25th Impact.
No, I'll let you carry this one actually, because you were DMing me about how much you enjoyed this. So.
You know, I need to rest my voice. I think I'm going to take a deep sip of this milk I have on in front of me, and I think you should talk about this one, Liam. I think you should.
But you say that, but I actually think that you're more qualified to talk about this segment.
I hear the cat behind you is like meow meow meow. Liam, talk.
I better go get it. Actually, so I'll just let you handle this while I go and I'll stop it.
Team 3D's music hits. The James Gang come out. BG is dressed as a fat brother Ray.
Classic comedy.
Kip, Liam.
Yeah.
How do you think Kip is dressed?
Could you describe it as dressed?
Yes.
So listeners, you may have heard of blackface before.
Yes.
Thing that pops up every now and again, especially in relation to DX related people.
Yeah.
But imagine if it was just all of his body.
All of it.
And really, it's so abrasive. Just so much going on.
It is. So Kip is dressed as Devon. Completely dressed as Devon.
Yeah.
As you said, blackface is almost minimizing it.
Because it's everything.
Yes, his entire upper body is painted to be like Devon.
It's so ridiculous.
It is outrageously racist.
Why? 2006?
Yeah.
2006?
But you see, Liam, everyone always talked about how that segment where DX dressed as a nation was so good and so funny and so good, so they did it again.
2006?
Yeah. He's doing blackface. Again, blackface is only an element of what he's doing.
Why have we had to talk about blackface so much in our TNA retrospective podcast?
Did someone else do blackface?
Bully Ray.
Oh, well, that was more, dubious, what the fuck are you doing?
It was dubious, but, that. I also do think that was the bit that he was doing.
Yeah, that did tip to, but, that was one that had plausible deniability. You know, if you accused Bully Ray of doing blackface for that, he'd be like, "Don't know what you're talking about, that was just war paint," you know?
Yeah.
This is a man doing blackface.
The most.
All of the blackface, all of the black torso, all of the black arms. It's not even funny. The segment is bad.
The bit, it's not even a funny bit. Not that that would justify it, but it's just, it's nothing. And then it ends in nothing. Like, Team 3D doesn't come out and, like, beat him up.
It's not like there would be a funny version of blackface, but like the stuff BG is doing isn't even funny. He's just doing a bad.
Yeah.
He kind of drops in and out of trying a New York accent. Like the actual bit Kip does is he just keeps shouting, "Oh, my brother,
it's so
testify."
weird to watch and see like that. Like no one like addresses it,
Yeah, it's really weird that like Team 3D aren't offended at the blackface.
and like commentary aren't even particularly offended.
No, and even the next week, Team 3D are like, actually, it was kind of a good bit. It's like, no! It's bad. It's really bad. It's 2006, though. That's the problem. Like, like the bad thing they're doing here isn't the blackface. That's just normal. It's like
2006.
the bad thing they're doing is like mocking Devon, just generally.
The year of X-Men: The Last Stand.
Yeah, blackface still acceptable on national fucking television. Like, this isn't even like, if it was like tiny ass Asylum TNA.
To 1 million people.
Yeah, 1 million people watched this episode of Impact, and it's like, yep, that's just normal.
It's not even like the lack of outrage, because like I don't think you would expect outrage. But it's like the fact that it's treated as nothing.
Yeah, it's just a thing that has happened.
It's kind of mind blowing.
So yeah, they do the usual Philly indie bingo hall gags were bad. Kip keeps shouting, "Oh, my brother, testify." BG is doing a bad New York accent while calling Bully fat. None of the bits are good. Then they get serious and pivot to Slammiversary, which makes it even weirder that they're doing serious wrestling promos while dressed like this. Accepts the challenge laid out last week and say, "We don't really care what the stipulation is." Kip says, "Nobody moves, nobody gets hurt. Whammo." And he does a cross chop. That's how the segment ends. He says whammo as he does a cross chop.
He says
whammo. Yep. Yep.
Next week.
Team 3D is with JB. They found last week very funny, actually, but points out they also did it 8 years ago. And then they point out the various jabs. Bully actually kind of gets mad at the fat jokes because he has a thyroid problem. But where they really stepped over the line is when they mocked the arena, Liam. They mocked South Philly. Not the blackface. They mocked the ECW arena, and that's the problem.
Yeah. That's when you've gone too damn far.
Calls them jealous, says insulting that might as well be calling their mother a whore. Bully's like, "My mom's not, but I don't know about Devon." Devon gets upset at this. He's like, he tells him to get off your mother. Bully, get off my mother. JB, get off my mother. Everybody get off my mother.
Bully's like, "Yeah, we'll get off your mother, alright? Hey, yo,
my tripod's right here." They'll show him what the bingo hall really means to them. Devon hits the catchphrase, and Bully's like, "I wasn't done yet." Devon says, "Now you're done." June 8th Impact. T3D are in Philly. They're in the ECW arena. Says it reminds me of the Impact Zone. They're going to bring South Philly to Orlando at Slammiversary. Then they set like a 3D on fire.
I kind of like that segment.
They had the little 3D in lighter Feud below them, set it on fire.
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, it kind of sets up expectations that they're going to use fire at Slammiversary.
Which I think there was a chant for, and then they didn't. Following week, they show footage of the house show from the ECW arena, where the James Gang and Team 3D brawled, and the ring was filled with chairs. So, Liam, you might have noticed blackface aired on TV, right?
Yeah.
A lot of drug references have been cut out of the promos hyping the Team 3D versus James Gang match for Sunday's pay-per-view. Management wasn't comfortable with airing those accusations and references on Spike.
That's so insane. It's so insane.
Of all the things this month,
oh, morality is so fucking weird.
to have content cut for the sake of standards of purity or whatever.
What are we doing?
The blackface makes the air, but like BG James did drugs does not.
What are we doing?
Also, Conan took shots at BG's drug use a few months ago.
What are we?
It's been an opening clip in our show for a while. Well, we took it out for I think last month, but have you been painting in an unventilated room? You got to go back to rehab. Was a Conan line a few months ago.
Yeah.
But yes, there is a standard for the stuff that was included in this program, and the blackface made air.
So silly.
Brings us to the pay-per-view.
And then they have a pretty kick-ass match.
They kind of do. They open the pay-per-view. They don't even do entrances. They just brawl down the ramp as the show starts and the match starts. It is a bingo hall brawl, by the way. I don't think I said that. And I think the Team 3D segment, they're like, we're going to face you in a bingo hall brawl.
Which I thought meant they were just going to, like, film the match off location.
Oh, like cinematic style?
Yeah.
Or just like brawl in like the empty ECW arena?
Yeah.
Which might have been a cooler idea, but they had a good match.
Yeah, like...
You have been saying for the longest time that you would love BG James to be a plunder guy.
Yeah.
And you have finally gotten it here.
Well, yeah, I like it. It's just unfortunately he's still saddled with the carcass that is Billy Gunn.
Who does bleed at least a lot.
Yeah. I think I might dislike Billy Gunn more than I dislike BG James now.
Really?
Yeah.
Has his like interminably long AEW run actually hindered that as well?
I don't think so. I just think like I feel like BG actually puts a little effort in when he wrestles. Like like, Kip does nothing.
At all.
Nothing at all. He's so useless. And, like, he's not interesting. None of his promos are good. At least BG's delivered some good promos.
Have you considered he did a cross chop and said whammo?
I did not.
Does that change anything?
Listen, if you want to count that segment as a big positive in your Billy Gunn book, that's up to you.
hey.
But to me, I think it was a bad segment.
But he does bleed in this match, at least.
I don't care. I don't want him on my screen. Are the New Age Outlaws just the worst tag team ever to exist?
What?
Like, are the New Age Outlaws, the James Gang,
Uh-huh.
are they just the worst?
I think there's obviously worse teams. Like,
Yes, but do you know what I mean? Are they just the worst?
If you were to, like, are they the worst major pushed tag team act in wrestling history? They're definitely up there.
Like, they're just so bad.
And, like, the funny thing is, they are an influential team. There is two teams that you can say are directly influenced by the New Age Outlaws. There is Enzo and Cass, who were a catchphrase who outstayed their welcome. And there's the Acclaimed, who were a catchphrase who outstayed their welcome.
And the Guns, but they legally have to.
Well, even the Guns aren't really, like, New Age Outlaws guys.
They're smoking guns, guys.
They're just kind of heel crony tag team guys, you know?
That sounds like the New Age Outlaws.
But, like, the Guns have more in common with the Naturals than they have with the James Gang, you know?
Fair.
Whereas, like, the kind of catchphrase charisma tag team, which is Enzo and Cass, and that's the Acclaimed. The Acclaimed are more of a work rate version of it, but that makes sense because they're in AEW.
Yeah.
But, like, those are, like, the direct descendants of the New Age Outlaws. And both of them are teams that seemed cool and over at first, and then were like, fucking go away after a while.
Yeah.
So even their influence is the same. It's just like, this is bad, annoying, and go away.
I'm sick of them. I want them gone. What's the timer? How much more do I have to deal with these fuckers?
BG lasts until the start of 2009. Kip lasts until, like, the middle of 2009.
2009?
Yeah. You got another 3 years of these boys.
How is it 2009?
And they will have some bad shit with Christy Hemme toward the end of the year, start of next year. Yep. Bully hip tosses Kip onto a guardrail set up on some steps. Kip takes a pretty bad bump onto it too because he's not a good wrestler.
I'm sure Kip James has taken plenty of bad bumps in his life.
No, we have to cut that out. No.
Why? Yeah, exactly. We can't leave that in.
Our morality standards, Liam. No.
No.
BG jumps off the steps over the rail into Devon, which he looked very cautious about, but he did it, just about.
Yeah, he's still committed to it.
Kip comes up bleeding after a cheese grater. 3D on Kip through a table for the win. Bully says that's how it should be done.